The Eagles and the Chiefs squared off on Monday Night Football, trying to salvage what was an otherwise pretty uninspiring week of NFL football. It was a Super Bowl rematch in Kansas City. The Chiefs were the favorites, and at 17-7, they seemed to be in control of the game. But the Philadelphia Eagles started to exert their will a little bit, some sloppy turnovers in the second half, and the Chiefs just didn't have the same sort of juice we're used to seeing. The Eagles pull out a 21-17 win to say, hey, look at us. We are the best team in the NFL right now. Gino Cammilleri from Locked On Eagles joins me now. And Gino, this was a Philadelphia team that had not played, I think, super inspiring football to date, but they just keep winning. It feels like they needed this. I don't think they really did. But so what do you take away from this?
Honestly, Pete, if you look at the landscape of the NFC, they needed this. Look at Detroit's right on their heels. San Francisco continues to win. Dallas got 2 more wins since that bye week game. And now you come into Arrowhead, one of the hardest places to play in an environment where it's torrential downpours. Nothing is going the Eagles' way. You have a miscommunication with A.J. Brown that turns into an interception. And the defense is just this little glimmer of hope all game that just got a couple of stops and held the Chiefs to a field goal now and then. They allowed them to score 2 touchdowns, which that's fantastic when it comes to defending Kansas City. But the Eagles offense, once again, they were down double digits. And once again, Jalen Hurts overcame a double-digit deficit on the road against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You talk about the top 2 guys in the league, you just saw them. You just saw the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. NFL, you're welcome for getting all these eyes that are going to be viewed into that game and on the replay of this game. I mean, that's a classic right there that you saw. Hats off to Kansas City. Andy Reid put together a great performance, Steve Spagnuolo as well. But this Eagles team, it just goes to show it's so much more than the X's and the O's because they got outcoached. I mean, it's simple as that. You don't need to have a PhD in football to understand that. But winning and situational football are 2 things that go hand in hand, and the Eagles just know how to do it. They know how to put together great drives late in games to put together points. They can get turnovers when it matters, back the Chiefs up, get multiple drives where the Chiefs don't score points. When I say multiple, I mean an entire half of drives where the Chiefs don't score points. They pitched a shutout. They Mariano Rivera, one of the best offenses, one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Look, I was just clearing out, letting you cook there, was enjoying all of that, but I have to push back a little because if Marquez Valdes-Scantling holds onto the ball with 1:42 left,
absolutely.
Like we might be talking about a different situation. You have to get a little bit lucky here. At the same time, the Eagles went into Arrowhead and won a game where they only generate 238 yards of total offense because they held Pat Mahomes to $177 on 43 attempts. That is less than 4 yards per pass. That is like Dorian Thompson, Robinson, Kenny Pickett level stuff. Just quickly, defensively, what did you see from Philadelphia that allowed them to be so effective, aside from Jedi mind tricking MVS into making that drop at the end of the game?
One will not catch the football.
Yes.
Marquez Valdes-Scantling will not catch the football. And it takes luck, Pete. I mean, 100%. The Eagles did some things in that game that were just downright disgusting. I mean, multiple stretches where you go run, designed quarterback run on 3rd and 10 when your quarterback has a banged up knee. Yes, the Eagles did some things where they definitely shot themselves in the foot, and you have to get lucky. The refs called another horrific game. We know that. But what I learned tonight from the defense, I always had that question of, can they win a Super Bowl for you? Because if the offense isn't getting going like they have tonight, and that has been the case for, I would say, half of the season at this point, the defense is good enough. With a defensive line that, as good as that front was last year and as special as that secondary was, with the guy that's in Arizona right now, you finally have a coordinator that knows how to manipulate these guys on a chessboard to make even the best. Even Patrick Mahomes makes some throws tonight where you're like, that didn't seem like Patrick Mahomes. Like, why is he off on this throw? And testament to Sean Desai and that defense for just continuing to hit home. Was it ugly in the first half? Absolutely. Were you set up in bad positions with special teams and the offense not giving you any breaks, going back-to-back 3 and outs, getting you right back on the field? So what do you do in the second half? You say, you know what? If we're going to have to go win this thing, let's do it in a manner that nobody thought we could. Let's go pitch a shutout. Let's go do what we have to do to make this game not a repeat of February. What couldn't they do in February, Pete? They couldn't get Pat Mahomes off the field in that second half. They did it every single time.
Stay up to date all year on the Philadelphia Eagles by subscribing to Locked On Sports today and Locked On Eagles on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube.